Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the most exciting half hour on television, the Geno and Megan show.
You keep saying that. One of these days it's going to be.
Yeah, one of these days. Watch out. So, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Did you just put lotion on your hands or something?
Actually, no, I do need to put some. I'm getting all dried out. I don't know, spend too much time indoors. I don't get out enough.
Well, I'm sure our viewers will let you know what kind of lotion that you should use.
Oh yeah. And if I put too much on, I'm sure they'll comment on that too.
Absolutely, because you've certainly gotten a
We'll
lot.
take a survey.
Yeah, you've gotten a lot of response to your coaching abilities lately.
Absolutely.
Because 400 games isn't a lot, and the second loss in a couple years.
Well, it's
Blow your head.
goes with the territory.
Absolutely. Well, okay, so everyone survived the Notre Dame week and the Old Dominion game, and so then you go to Pitt over the weekend, and you had to be thrilled with the way that Kelly Schumacher came out and played.
She played great. I mean, Kelly's, there's a lot of things that Kelly can do, and the problem that she seems to have is that when things don't seem to fall exactly her way, or if she struggles a little bit, it kind of gets into her, gets into her head a little bit, and she becomes less aggressive. And when she stays aggressive, that's when Kelly's at her best. When she's actively trying to be, active on the offensive end like she is there on offensive rebounds, trying to block shots, moving her feet. When she's moving and she's active and she's aggressive.
And that's a nice pass from KJ.
Yeah, I mean, our players are going to pass her. See, that's the one thing I don't like. She allows people to dribble by her and then try to block shots from behind.
Right.
And gets lucky sometimes. And I don't want her to be lucky. I'd rather her be good like that. So it's a pretty good play there. But we've made a concerted effort to throw the ball in the post more. But see, one of the things that happens to our big guys, see that face that Svetlana just made there. People wonder, sometimes people just dribble right by our guys, and it puts our big guys in foul trouble. As we do a better job of keeping people in front of us, our big guys won't get as much foul trouble, and they'll be able to stay aggressive. What happens is if you foul, like if Kelly gets a couple fouls, it kills your aggressiveness early, and then all of a sudden you become a little tentative, and then you can't do anything right.
Well, isn't that one of your philosophies this year, especially on the wings? You force the wings to the baseline where you have the big guys come up and step outside the lane, or it's nice if maybe there was a false sense of security with some of those the wings, because they go back and you have someone 6'5" to block the shot.
Yeah, you've got two ways to play, I think, man. Well, three. You can just stand there and not pressure the basketball. You can pressure the basketball and force it into the middle of the lane, which we don't want to do. Or you can pressure the ball towards the sideline, which is what we want to do. But if you're not careful, forcing to the sideline to some of our players means, okay, I'm just going to let my guy dribble by me because we've got Asia or Kelly or Swin back there to, stop that dribble penetration. The problem is if they just get beat too easily, now our guys got to rotate too early, and then we give up offensive rebounds, we give up fouls, we give up all kinds of stupid stuff. So the better we are on the perimeter, the more aggressive we can stay inside. And Kelly, gets to play more minutes and gets to keep her confidence level high. No question, we're a much different team with Kelly playing well than we are without her.
Well, the personal question that we've talked about a little bit, back in the day, you used to have the team force the ball to the middle.
Right.
And now it is to the baseline. Why is the difference?
I think players are better today. I think the guards are better. We found that the more people dribble into the middle of the lane, the more problems that were created for us as people have started shooting more three-pointers. If you think about it, when you get to the middle, you now have two options. You can pass left or right. If we force you to stay on one side of the floor, we're kind of eliminating one side that you can throw the ball to. So it helps us defensively be better because we're containing the area that we're actually trying to defend, and we don't give up as many three-pointers when we do it that way. So that's why we made the change.
Okay, well, talk about the guards are a little bit better these days. Sue Bird is someone who seems to have an increasingly bigger role.
Yeah,
since
Sue
the Notre
Bird.
Dame game.
the problem with Sue Bird is she's not cocky enough. She's not aggressive enough. Like if she would do that more often, I think we would be a much better team. I don't mean miss. I mean want to take that shot. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I talk a lot about aggressiveness and confidence. You know, we've got players that I think sometimes are too concerned about wanting to do it the right thing, that if they miss a shot, they may not want to shoot the next one because they don't want to, you know, they'd rather give somebody else a shot. We've tried to impress on Sue recently that, hey, you know, we need you to be more offensive minded. You know, we need you to dribble penetrate. We need you to get fouled. We need you to take more shots. You know, when you're that good an offensive player, there's no reason why you shouldn't take more shots. And, you know, against Pitt or against Miami, I mean, she's been able to do this. You know, we want her to get out on the break more. We want her to, you know, defensively to create more. We also want her to make more of those shots, but, you know, taking them is a start.
Does it concern you that Sue's three-point percentage is down this year? Does that concern you at all?
No, we're 16-1. Doesn't concern me at all. As long as it doesn't concern her.
Does
If
it
it concerns
concern
her, then that's a problem.
Well, how about her? She seems to be taking on more of a leadership role in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, anytime you have your guards want to take on that leadership role, it's like a quarterback in football. It's hard for an offensive lineman to be, you know, the leader in football. You know, so for basketball purposes, it's great when your guards want to take on that leadership role because they've got the ball all the time, and they can dictate the pace of play, the style of play, who gets the ball, who doesn't get it, what are you going to do with it after they give it to you. They can do all that. So it's important for us that Sue takes on that role, not just this year because, you know, it takes off some of the pressure off of Svet, who's not very vocal, you know, who wants to lead by example, and Shay, you know, who does that, but it can't do it by herself. So it's good for Sue to step up and do it. And it helps her next year, too, because
Right.
next year those two won't be here, and she'll have to do even more.
Right, and so the next game against Miami, probably one of the better just team efforts. Everyone got involved. Everyone did something.
Yep. I thought that was one of the. I thought that was one of the games that got us into a pretty good flow. You know. See, I think that's a bad play. You know, you dribble down there, you don't know exactly what you're going to do. You stop, you turn around, and then you find somebody. You know, and that's the kind of tentativeness that we've been playing with, and we're trying to get out of that.
With her.
Well, no. See, that's you know, to me, that's a great hustle there by Morgan Valley. See, now I watched Diana do that. We're encouraging her to do more of that. That's a good play right there, but great pass by Swing. We're trying to encourage Diana to do more of that.
Oh, that was when Kelly hurt her ankle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
we
Rosemary.
we were checking behind the grassy knoll in section 202 because we don't know exactly how she fell. She was running back on defense.
She kind of bumped into someone.
I don't know.
And then
I
tripped
just
over
saw
the
her
line
fall.
Or something.
I wanted to check the Zapruder film, but I couldn't get it. They confiscated it. But I couldn't find any way that she fell. And I just looked out there. So what happened? And there she was, laying on the floor. But here's how much Kelly's changed. 3 years ago, when she was a freshman, she would have been medevaced to Hartford, you know, by helicopter. This time, you know what she did? She laid there for a couple seconds,
Realized
nobody was coming out to help her, jumped up, ran down the floor, got an offensive rebound, stuck it back in, and then, you know, came out during the next break in the action. You know, so she's made a lot of progress, Kelly. I'm proud of her.
Yeah, well, and again, the entire...
You know, 2 years ago, I don't mean to interrupt you, but, and I got to go back to this. We used to have a rule. We got it from Roy Williams, the coach at Kansas. It's a 3-second rule. If you're down on the floor for more than 3 seconds, you're out. You're coming out of the game, and we don't put you back in until whenever. Because that means you're hurt, and you have to come out. Or you fell down, didn't feel like getting up because you wanted a little bit of attention. You wanted somebody to come out there. You ever see that?
Yeah.
Somebody falls down, they look like they're dead. Everybody runs out, the trainer runs out, they pick them up, they carry them out. And all of a sudden, 5 minutes later, they come back and they look like the best player in the world. We don't need any of that aggravation.
I think we have a few more highlights from the Miami game to show.
Good.
Just again, the kids coming off the bench doing some good stuff.
It all starts with Sue Bird pushing the ball. You know, KJ KJ, one of the best players, I think.
You're getting after it again. Good thing you're not pitting out there.
Well,
Nice tie.
I can't seem to win. When I stand up on the sideline, yell and scream, act like an idiot, everybody says, why don't you lay off the girls a little bit? Then when I sit there and just watch them play and leave it up to them, I like it when you're an idiot. That's a great move there by Swing Cash.
Great move.
Yeah, and everybody liked it. Everybody liked it. Everybody's having fun. Basketball's supposed to be fun, and this is fun right here.
How about this shot?
Just dribble up and
How about her?
Basketball's supposed to be fun, and when it's played in a fun way, everybody gets to enjoy themselves. Everybody gets to feel like they're contributing. Everybody's going to play better when they have confidence in themselves, and we lost our confidence there for a while.
Yeah, and it wasn't very fun.
No, it's no fun when you're struggling, and people have this impression that a coach or somebody can all of a sudden inject someone with a shot of confidence or erase any doubt that they may have about themselves as a player. And you can't do that. You have to let it run its course. It's like somebody gets a cold. You don't just and it's gone. You have to let it run its course, and that's why people will have slumps. And it was good to see us against Miami kind of show our old selves. A little bit of that, juice and a little bit of that swagger that the kids like to have when they're on the court. And it makes me feel good when I see them like that too.
Well, I know the team had not only some injuries to Shea and to Svet, the flu bug, and I know you were feeling under the weather. You out of the woods?
Well, I'm getting there. I've got some issues I got to take care of with my sinuses and stuff. But I think between the injuries and we don't like to make a big deal of it, but it does affect them. Like people say, how come Asia didn't play that much against Pittsburgh? Well, because she sprained her ankle against Old Dominion. All right, how come Svet? Svet got her eye scratched, their cornea, against the last team we played, Syracuse. Miami. Okay, kid hit her in the eye with her finger, scratched her eye, was watering the rest of the game. Went to see the eye doctor. He's got to put some drops in it. She's not going to be able to practice. And she'll play against Syracuse. That's not an issue. But so then she comes to practice the next day, goes into rebounding, boom, gets hit in the nose, her nose is bleeding, and now, walks off the court. So it's little things like that every team has to deal with, but, they do take their toll.
Right, sure.
It's one of those things that, you're not going to be perfect every night. And people watching out there, how many mornings do you get up and go, I can't wait to go to work today, man. I feel like $1,000,000. Right.
All right, so you bring up the Syracuse game. You didn't play especially well at their place. Now they're coming in quickly on them.
And that's where it all started, I think. This idea that it started with me. I mean, I'm the biggest culprit. We're up 28 against Syracuse.
And you're Les Mis.
Well, I didn't like the way we got the lead. I didn't like the way we played. Against Syracuse, I liked the 10 minutes that we played. First half, I thought we were like, this is lousy. We come out at halftime, the next 10 minutes were great. And then the last 10 minutes I thought were lousy. Mm-hmm. So, but that's by our standards.
Right, which are different than most.
Okay,
you got the Tennessee game next Thursday.
Yeah, so what? Big deal. I'm sick of that. I'm sick of talking about Tennessee all the time. I'm sick of everybody focusing on Tennessee. I don't want this to become like Auburn versus Alabama in football. Like you only have to win one game a year. As long as you beat them Lady Vols, Big deal. Would you rather trade that win over Tennessee for the win over Notre Dame? I would. I would.
Absolutely.
We'd be in first place in the Big East now, huh?
Yeah, what about that? Not going to win
how about
the
that?
regular season.
First time in 7 years, we're probably not going to win the regular season championship. Yeah.
Well, yeah. But do you believe that loss at Notre Dame helped this team?
Did it help this team? I don't know. I heard someplace where somebody said, you never learn anything from a loss. Okay? Maybe you don't. You know what you learn? That losing stinks.
That lesson in itself is enough.
And I also read someplace where, Coach Auriemma was trying to teach his players a lesson. But Notre Dame thought it was a game. You're not supposed to use games to teach people lessons. Really? then when we don't try to teach kids anything, I go, hey, isn't this college? Isn't this a university? Aren't you supposed to be teaching kids things?
So why do you
Why
do you read what people write?
Well, because I'm trying to, I want to answer their emails.
Okay.
I mean, I don't answer them. I just read them. But I read them with the pretense that I'm going to answer them. But after I read them, I go, I'm not answering this.
All right. Well, we do have some emails and some letters here. We want to spend a lot of time to the questions and emails that you folks send in, and you send so many in. We cannot get to all of them on the air. We love the letters. We read them all, and they all get responded to in some way. But if we don't read your letter on the air, we apologize. But we just have a plethora. So we will begin.
If you want us to read them, make them funny, make them interesting, and we'll read them on the air. Make them nice about me, then I'll definitely read them on the air.
Oh, sure. Make me sick. Okay, this is my buddy Tom in Middletown. Wanted to impressed with the good sportsmanship of your players in wins and in losses.
Yeah, that's always good.
And wondered if there's ever been a player who's been hit with a technical foul.
Oh, yeah. Not recently. Not recently.
Yeah, not in
a long time. I think the last, geez, I might be wrong, but Laura Licious might be the last one that got a technical. I don't remember when that was. But I think the three people that I remember getting technicals, Peggy Walsh, definitely, because she used to throw elbows at people. Now Peggy Myers, who works in her office. Laura Licious, and Dopey U, I think got a technical.
I was hoping you were going to have forgotten that one. Okay, we'll move on to our next letter now.
Something about your hairstyle that day or something.
Then I should have gotten a technical foul every game.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed the interview with Geno. As long as he maintains a sense of humor, we go all the way. This is just from a Hartford fan. She writes in, I'm assuming it's a woman. She writes in all the
like Comedy Central or what? We're trying to win a national championship here.
Number one. She said number one.
Number one. I like that.
Okay, this is from Matt from Brantford. Watching last show, couldn't believe how many people blamed you for the Notre Dame loss. It's not the first time you ever lost. It won't be the last. So where did they get off blaming you?
Who's that?
This guy, Matt from Brantford. And he's, I think that UConn should, he writes...
Send him a couple tickets. Anytime you want to come to a game, Matt, you let me know.
No, that's not true. I think that UConn should hire your mom to bring the holy water and bless the team when you play the tough ones.
Yeah, well...
Okay.
I like when she brings olive oil and makes...
Food, yeah.
Makes food.
That's very good. I know the refs at Notre Dame overwhelmed UConn with cheap fouls. You should have made a statement to the refs. It could have become a close game. When Notre Dame started getting a decent lead, you should have called a timeout to attack Riley and get her in foul trouble.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're doing.
I know, but
it gets better. The starting five should get more playing time to keep their shooting eye. Spreading out too much time to all your players only hurts the starting five when it comes time to play crucial games in the future.
Well,
let's work on your coaching style here, pal.
That's not true. I mean, yeah, we could have done a lot of different things against Notre Dame, but we didn't do them, and that's the bottom line, and that's it. And we have 9 or 10 guys. We can't go around saying we have 10 of the best players and 9 of the best players are a deep bench and then not use them. So we're going to use them. That's just the way it is. That's just the way we're going to play.
Absolutely. The Lady UConn fans were angry at their esteemed coach because it seemed to them that he didn't give a darn whether the Lady Huskies won or lost. Remember when he screamed bloody murder at his players over the years? He showed how this team is loved by the people of Connecticut. So I guess he's yelling at you for yelling.
No, for not yelling.
But then he goes on, I think, to say that he's a great coach. He turned Svet from an offensive player into the best defensive player in the country. He should know that the top players have to play over 30 minutes a game to win. I wish him the best, but the fans were right. Oh, and he was wrong in this case.
Okay.
Arthur. Thank you, Arthur from New Haven.
Guilty.
And I do have to admit, I just did see here, we think you're the best lady announcer in the country. Thank you, Arthur. Of course, I'll remember to put that part in. Okay. I know you can't specifically mention names, but are you optimistic about recruiting a tall post player for 2001?
Yes.
What with the 2001 graduation of Shuey and then in 2002 of Cash Williams-Jones?
Yes, we're optimistic about recruiting a big kid for next year, correct?
Okay, good.
But don't forget, we have Jessica Moore in the
Yes,
ranks.
so what does Jessica Moore fit into this? Where does she fit into this?
Right.
Now, is the 2002 high school recruiting class one of the best in a few years?
Yeah.
And that should certainly bode well for us.
Yep.
What will be your priorities in that class?
Everything.
Yeah, you'll be losing...
Everything. Because if you think about it, we'll be missing
Tamika?
Shu, Svet, Shea, Tamika, Asia, Swin, Subert.
Wow.
So 7 of our top 9 players right now will be gone. So
This is where you and
anybody
this
that
is
can
where
play a
Chris
little
Daly-
bit, send me your tapes, cards and letters.
This is where Chris Daly earns the big bucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's funny because as we're doing the show, Jamel's out today looking at one of the best players in the country.
Yeah.
You know, so we're out there right now, you know,
Go JJ.
doing what we got to do.
Now, people have wanted, I love the segments of the show last year when you had different players, but this year you've not had any. You can explain that.
Well, we can still do that. It depends where we do the show, when we do the show.
During break, it just never worked for us.
During break, this was a weird break because we weren't here a lot.
Yeah.
You know, we seemed to be traveling a lot or we're just getting back. We did the show when we were getting back. So as we get into a normal routine now, come February, we might have time to get some players on.
If it doesn't conflict with...
But they're on
their
all the time.
classes.
I mean, you see them all the time.
But they never get to hear them talk and to see them in street clothes and sit for 25 minutes and just gab.
Why?
Instead, we're just stuck with you.
That's right. It says the Geno Auriemma show. It doesn't say, Svet or
And as
Shay
you
or
mentioned in the
Geno.
beginning of the show, that's going to be changed.
No, I'm just telling you.
As a season ticket holder, I'm curious as to why the student body does not attend the women's games.
No free beer.
There's no beer on
I
college
think if you had
campuses.
kegs at the concession, they would come.
Past years, the section behind the band was always filled with students. At the
Right.
women's games, this area always seems to have empty seats. This is from
Right.
Ann in South Meriden. Well,
Students are fickle.
it was also winter break over the last
Yeah,
month.
yeah.
So there weren't
Come
as many
February,
fans.
there might be. But students are very fickle. Any national
Yeah.
TV game where they can paint their faces and do stupid
Yeah.
stuff on their
Yeah.
chest and, mom send money and that, they'll do that. But for the regular games, they're too cool for that.
Okay, this is my favorite letter email. Seems to me that if the team is not playing good defense, you should be doing some defensive drills in practice, especially some sort of lateral sidestepping drills where the players learn to guard an opponent, crouch down low, and the balls are at their feet in a ready defensive attack position. Get some
Well-
guys to come in to do some one-on-one drills with the players. Duh.
I think-
Also, the players are not keenly aware enough of when to switch off their man and rotate to the weak side to cut off an open passing lane when you double team the opposition. Your full court wait a minute. Your full court press isn't too hot either.
No, and I agree with him.
That's from Willimantic.
I think if we did all those things better, we would probably be 17-0 instead of 16-1.
Yeah, probably.
Every single game, there's going to be some breakdowns. That's just the way it is. We could do lateral sidestepping drills from now until, doomsday. When you're guarding somebody quicker than you and they decide to go by you and they go by you, they're going to go by you. That's just all there is to it. But rest assured, we do defensive drills. Sometimes we do them like doo-doo, but we do defensive drills.
Okay, Kirsten, Kirsten wants his future with the team? Now here,
Assistant trainer. Kirsten has been spending a lot of time with Rosemary, so we've designated her
and
assistant
Rosemary
trainer.
Regal is the trainer.
Rosemary Regal is our trainer, one of the best trainers in the country. Kirsten spends a lot of time in the training room. Kirsten wants to go to medical school.
What is her playing status?
Who knows?
It says here she's been redshirted for so long. Now clarify that you can only redshirt 1 year, correct?
You only get 5 years to play 4. So she's been redshirted so long, there's no red left in her
purple.
shirt. It's purple, right.
She'll be around until she's done, regardless.
Oh, yeah,
of...
she's going to be here probably forever. She'll be here longer than me. She's going to go to graduate school. She's going to go to medical school. She'll do the whole thing. She's a great kid.
But you just do not know of her playing status.
No.
Okay.
No.
So,
People just don't understand the degree to which her knees are bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so bad. I bet you she's got the knees of an 80-year-old who's had, 2 knee replacements. That person would have a better chance of playing basketball healthy than Kirsten does.
wow.
That's how bad her knees
And
are.
then to add insult to injury, pardon the pun, she was lifting and blew out her shoulder.
Yeah.
And had to get shoulder surgery. So,
Yeah.
poor kid. Okay, Sveta, very talented. Do you think she'll ever learn to make a layup with her left hand? Mm-hmm.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably
very
not.
good.
Svet's stubborn.
Yeah, she is. Senior year, Sveta, her parents are coming.
Yeah.
Senior night, okay.
Yeah. Parents are-
And real quick, Ashley battles elbow.
Ashley Battle started practice yesterday for the first time where she actually did some contact drills. She's wearing a little bit of a protective sleeve, which helps or doesn't help. I think it's,
Right.
but she's
When
anxious
could we
to get
see
started.
her on the court?
Don't know yet. That's going to depend on,
How
how she does. But I would think first week of February or so may be a good, realistic time.
Okay. Very good.
But, this is a tough decision with Ashley. Because,
Yeah. Do you
she's missed so
redshirt?
much of the season. Does she want to use up this year? Does she want to get a whole year back next year?
Mm-hmm.
I got to talk to her. I think she really wants to play. I wouldn't mind if she
Redshirted so you're never around again?
used the whole year next year. She missed a big chunk of the year.
Yeah.
But,
We won't have Shay and Svet next year.
I know.
Okay, folks, we're almost out of time, so please feel free to write any questions you have. The Geno Auriemma Show, New Britain Avenue, Hartford, Connecticut, or visit us there on the web. There you see the address. So, gosh, we just never have enough time to get to everything we want to talk about. You're so engaging.
I am.
The Syracuse game is coming up. Please enjoy that, and we will see you again very soon. Enjoy the game. Thank you for watching.
Bye.